and welcome to Data King 1. Today we will be doing a calculation in business management, and we are going to look at markup versus profit margin. Now, a lot of businesses or a lot of intending investors actually look at only profit. They tend not to look at what the markup is saying and what the profit margin is saying. And definitely, these have made a lot of investors actually invest wrongly. Now, this particular calculations in markup versus profit margin is meant for small scale and medium scale businesses. All right, I will give a simple scenario to quickly make us understand what are the advantage, why we have to look at markup and profit margin and not just profit. Okay, now before I go further, markup is just the profit divided by the cost, the profit made in the business divided by the cost the business actually incurred. And the profit margin is also the profit divided by the revenue, the total money received in the business. Now, let's go right into it. I'm going to use two different examples to explain it. Now, let's say we have two different intending business A and business B. Okay. Now, business A let's fix in the information. Business A actually have a revenue of 800, a cost of 500. Okay, so definitely the profit by this business will be revenue, which is 800, minus cost, which is 500. Okay, and definitely that profit will be 300. Okay, so let's term this in dollars. All right, now let's go to B. B have a revenue of 1,000 and a cost of 700. Okay, now definitely the profit would be 1,000, which is the revenue, minus 700, which is the cost, and we will have also $300. All right, so if you look at business A and business B, they both have $300 each. Okay, so definitely both of them actually have the same profit. So if you are a businessman or an investor, you will definitely say, okay, I can go for anyone. But it doesn't end up here. In as much as two businesses have the same profit, fine, this is good. Any business with a positive profit is good. But definitely you have to check markup and profit. So this will help you determine the growth of this business. Profit margin for both A and B business. Okay, so now profit margin, let's do the one for A first. For A, all right, we have it. Profit margin is equals to the profit, which is 300, divided by the revenue, and the revenue is given to us as 800. So definitely this is going to give us 0.375. Now, because profit margin is measured in percentage, so we are going to multiply that. So we are going to multiply that by 100, so we can have the value in percentage. So 0.375 times 100 definitely will give us 37.5%. This is good. This is a good profit margin. Now let's do for B. For B, okay, let me highlight this to separate them. So I'm going to go to home and fix a color there. All right. Now for B, we also do the same thing, profit margin. So we are going to use 300, which is the initial profit, divided by the revenue. And the revenue in this case, let's check it out. The revenue is 1,000. So we are going to have 300 divided by 1,000. So definitely that will give us 300 divided by 1,000. So that will give us 0.3. So just as we did earlier on, we multiply by 100 to change it to percentage. So this will give us 0.3 multiplied by 100, and that will give us 30%. Okay, 30%. Now we have started seeing some differences. Let me give this a different color. Let me make this green or something different. Okay, something brighter. All right, now we have 37.5% for business A and business B 30%. Now you can see they have both profit, but their profit margin are different, and this is because the revenue acquired from the business are actually different. So that's why we have this. That's why we have profit margin for A becoming 37.5 and B becoming 30%. Now let's look at it critically. As a business analyst, what you can advise this particular client is, in as much as both of them have, you'll be asking yourself a kind of question, that how come I'm making a revenue 1,000 more than who invested in A, who is making a revenue of 800? So how come that person's profit margin, the profit for A, will be bigger than that of B? You can see it from here. Let me scroll up again. You can see it from here. Profit A is making 37.5 and profit B margin is making 30%. Now, if you have invested in B, definitely you can always say I've made a higher profit. Sorry, I've made a higher revenue, which is 1,000. So how come someone who has made a lower revenue of 800 is having a higher profit margin? So this is because of cost. This is because of cost. So that is why markup is very, very important, apart from calculating your profit margin, to me, because even if you have calculated your profit, this profit can actually be based on your revenue. But if you have your revenue, how much cost, how much money have you sunk into the business? That is the real question. It's not matter of making a profit of $300. It's matter of how much cost, or it's not matter of making a revenue of $1,000, $1 million, $150, any amount of dollars in revenue. It is not matter of that. It's matter of, for you to make that revenue, what amount of cost have sunk into it. And this is the reality, because this cost actually is your capital. What amount of capital are you putting in to get this revenue? So what amount for every $1, what is going to be your profit? What is the margin? What is the ratio? So that is the